Welcome back to our channel.
Baby.
We are the Mavens. Say it, baby.
Today we're talking about first date questions to ask when you are on a first date. Now, let me preface it and say this though. These are questions you only ask if you are intentional, with the intention of getting married. So if you out here just trying to smash, trying to get a free meal.
Smash, baby.
What you want me to say?
Trying to get it in.
If you trying to get a free meal, if you just want somebody to fill your time because you bored, don't ask these questions. Just do what you do. Ain't nothing wrong with a free meal and being bored and filling your time.
But it's also to weed out people. So like, if you feel like this is a good prospect and this may be something for you that you're really interested in, then this is a good opportunity to ask these questions on the first date. Don't wait.
But I beg to differ because people always say, well, I don't know. So I think regardless if you think this person is the one or not, if you are dating with the intention of getting married, there are some questions you need to know. We don't need to wait 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road to try to figure stuff out. Like, you already invested all this time. Why are we waiting to
and
get
most
to
of the
know
time,
someone?
I hear a lot of women say, well, I don't want to come off too strong, or I don't want to run this person away, or
They need to run.
I don't know how deep to go with the questions. Like, don't feel bad, be straightforward, know what you want, and ask these questions on the first date. When we met back in 2018, Ebony came with these questions. She came strong with the questions.
So y'all know
too.
from the other video, I asked first date, what was his financial situation? I said, what's your credit score? You got credit? You got good credit, bad credit? Because this is my thing. So that could be a question. What's your credit score? Some of y'all like, oh, that's too much. Listen, the reason why I asked, because if you don't have money, but you have a good credit, we could work with that. If you got bad credit and no money, and you ain't trying to work on your credit, this can't go nowhere. When I met Carlos, Carlos didn't have no money.
No money?
And he didn't have no good credit. It was, I was like, oh, hell to the no. Now, however, y'all don't know how we met. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. It was a supernatural kind of thing. However, he was open to working on his credit. I told him from day one, I said, if you plan on marrying me, before we get married, your credit score has to be good. Not kind of good, not in the 500s, not in the 400s. It needs to be touching that 700 line, minimum.
So let me ask you this. When did you get to the point to where you knew these types of questions to ask people? Like, was it just me that you did this with, or were you always like this?
No, what so after the last whatever situation I had,
yeah,
I knew that credit was important, and it wasn't something that I always asked with my ex-boyfriends, but after my last situation, I made sure to ask those questions. However, most men didn't even make it to get to a date with me to ask about their credit score. So I know I had good credit, and I expected my significant other to have the same credit or better. So that was an expectation for me if we plan on getting married. So,
because it feels like you had, and I know this, you had a lot of confidence. So when we met, Ebony had just turned 30. This was your 30th year. Remember?
Put my age out there.
Yeah, you look good, girl. Oh, you look good. So she was 30, and you were so confident.
Yeah.
And we know people that, 40, 50, 60, 65, that still just don't have the same type of confidence within themselves to ask these questions and demand the answer that you want. Because for whatever reason, people may feel like, oh, I don't want this dude to run away.
Right. And it's important to ask the credit, because guess what? If you get married, what you gonna do? Buy a house together.
Yes.
You're gonna do investments together, whatever the investments are, cars, whatever.
Yeah. So for the moment you guys been waiting on, because so many people have been sending us messages about this. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it and get to the questions that you should ask on the first date. Now, before you go, I gotta preface with this. The woman should ask these questions.
So, ladies,
do you agree?
Yes, that was the name of the game when I was out here dating and meeting men. You don't get a chance to ask me no questions.
First,
correct. Because what I've learned after dating many men, they're talking, so what you like to do, all that mumbo jumbo. I said, you know what I've learned? Men take inventory of everything a woman says. Yes. Everything a woman says. And so now he gets to choose how he can play with those answers. So like, oh, okay, I know she like that. Let me go ahead and do this. So they play and they manipulate. That's what it is. Run game, whatever you want to call it. Game is manipulation. And they use that to kind of finesse and act and be who they think you want them to be.
So,
and then people are like, oh, he didn't change. No, because you let him ask all the questions and figure out how he needs to be before.
So let me give a quick example. So this is what she means. Let's say we're on a first date and I ask her, what's important to you in a man?
What's your favorite gift? So my favorite gift is flowers.
Okay, good. So she says her favorite gift is flowers. So then if she reverses it on me and says something to the effect of, so tell me about like what are some great things that you've done for a woman in the past? I'll say, well, I love to give women flowers.
That's the number one thing. My girl should get flowers, just because. You see how they can just finesse.
That's what we do. That's what we. So
trying to finesse it.
As she get into these questions, the bottom line is, women, you guys have to set the tone. You know what you want.
The question.
Set the tone. Woman, ask the question. So okay, let's hop right into it. What's the first question?
What's your first question? Don't put it on me. I already said what's your credit score.
Oh, okay. Well, I think a super important question is, and the woman asks this question, what are your beliefs?
He taking my stuff. We already said that last video. But, so when I was dating, the first question I would ask any man that approached me that I know wasn't going to be able to do, I just have these feelings. So I would always play with it. And I would smile. I would take my time. Tap into the feminine energy, and I would take my time. I would smile, and I kind of flirt a little bit with my eyes, maybe my hair, and I ask you, what are your beliefs?
Ooh.
You so childish.
And I believe in miracles.
The men never fails. What you mean? Don't give no clarifying response. What are your beliefs? Because in that moment, we gonna know if he go in the house, he be ha-la-la-la-la with sage. I don't know. If he say, I believe in God, Jesus Christ, okay? If I believe in the trees and stars, astronomy, okay? If I believe, whatever that is, you gonna see where his mind goes, and you already.
So don't help him out.
Do not clarify.
Just ask the question and see.
And my response when they said, what you mean? I said, what are your beliefs? You mean like church? You mean like God? What are your beliefs?
Let him answer. Okay, come on, let's go ahead.
So, what are your beliefs? Credit score? How many kids you have?
So at this point,
men and women
at this age, come on now.
How many kids you have?
Most people got kids, and be honest.
Not do you have kids? How many kids you have? Because this is the thing. When you on a roll, when you ask people questions like, "Oh, okay, what are your beliefs? How many kids you have?" They gonna automatically what comes natural. Oh, I got 2. And if they tried to hide it, I don't know. People be trying to hide.
People know. I'm telling you, most of the time, men or people won't tell you these things on the first date. Like they want to just see where this goes and build it up, and then reveal.
Now, when you meet the kids, it's a different story. That's different. That's a whole different story.
But so this person should want to tell you if they love their kids. I would love to say, I got 4, 6 kids.
Well. How many kids do you have? And you want to get into what's your relationship with your kids? What's your relationship with the baby's father? What's the relationship with the baby mother? How often do you see these children? Are you paying child support? Ask off the rip. What we waiting for? What we gonna get married and no. No.
That's a great question. Great question.
No. You got another one?
What else you got? Come
He don't
on.
make me make me do all the questions. Okay. So next question. What are your intentions for me?
Okay, this one is tricky. This one is tricky because fix your face. This one is tricky because sometimes a person, they still are trying to feel you out. But most of the time, men do know. But I don't mind asking this question.
So intentions can change.
Intentions can change.
So when you came and approached me, what's your intentions? What's your intentions?
I'm just trying to have a good time.
Good time. Good to know.
Good times.
Good to know.
Anytime you need a payment.
So
I'll try.
the answers can vary with the intention. It could be say, I want a good time. A man could say, I'm really looking for my wife. A woman could, but now mind you, this is for women to be asking.
Yeah.
What the woman needs to ask that.
Yeah. No. We talked about this before. The man definitely should be able to articulate what his intentions are for you. So come on, what's next?
Yeah. So these aren't in any particular order.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wrote down
This
some
is a good
other
one.
stuff.
This next one is good.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4?
4.
Okay. What are your visions of retirement life?
Oh, no. That ain't what I was thinking. That's still a good one, though. Especially depending on the age. But, like, what?
It does, because it kind of tells you, like, I want to work for AT&T, and I want to retire, and I just want to chill at the house.
Yeah.
That gives you a kind of outlook on, like, what my day-to-day. So you finna go home. You finna go to work, come home.
See, this one is tricky
eat.
because people do change. But
people do change, but
I think this is more of an age question, depending on your age.
But we talked about this, me and you. I was like, I don't see myself like retiring.
You're right. We have talked about this
Early
multiple
on,
times.
Multiple times.
Yeah, that's good. But what I was going to say from that question is, like, what is your vision for your life? Like, what do you aspire to be?
All he had read was, what is your vision? What? Okay, so what's your vision for life?
What's your vision for life?
That
What do you
question.
want? What do you want out of life? Where do you see yourself? That's super important. Be able to articulate it, be able to say it. Let the person know.
Let them talk.
I've heard people say, what's your 5-year? What's your 10-year plan?
People say that, but what's your vision for your life? And once that woman or that man answers that, well, really the man, when the man answers that question, get curious about what he's saying.
Yes.
Get curious. Don't just like, oh, okay, that's nice. No. So tell me a little bit more about how you plan to buy 5 more houses.
Right. Tell me, what are some of the things you've done in the past? How do you work to get to this point? Do you plan on going back to school? What are some additional things that you need?
Get curious about his response. Don't be so quick to say like, yeah, I want to do that too. No.
Yeah.
Get curious. Get invested.
Because these people can tell you anything.
Anything.
We've seen that. We've heard that before.
People tell you anything.
And people just go with it. And then 2 years later, you find out the truth.
2 years.
Okay.
Look, don't
stay on track, baby.
No, you stay on track. Okay.
Okay, come on, baby.
Another one is, what are you working towards? Which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
what are you
kinda
working
same.
towards?
Yeah.
Like in life, what are you working towards?
Right.
And let them answer. I'm working on my mama issue, working on my daddy issue, working on my credit score, working on remodeling my home, working on finishing school, working on helping take care of my mom, working on helping take care of my dad.
Yeah.
You know, you want to ask.
Another question to ask is, what are some things that you like to do outside of work? I want to kind of get to know you a little bit to see, like, what are you interested in, you know, outside of, because sometimes you do your daily job because you got to make money. I get it. But where are your interests? Are you into traveling? Are you into going out on dates? I mean, what do you like? You going to the club?
Met her in the
Club.
We already said that last. All right, another question is, what are your deal breakers?
Ooh.
What are your deal breakers? If you don't know your deal breakers, don't ask this question. But you want to know what that person's deal breaker is, because you'll know if you qualify or not.
Yes.
So.
Okay, come on, let's keep going.
Okay. How do you feel about sex?
It feels good.
Ooh, screechy much. Okay, so I asked
Sunday.
Carlos off the bat, first date.
We sure did.
I went playing no games, y'all.
She sure did.
I'm asking all the questions. He ain't run away. But
Ooh,
you know,
I forgot about this.
Sure did. I was like, it was before, not even a date. It was the first phone call. I said, how you feel about sex?
You sure did.
He kind of finessed it. And
I don't remember my answer. It was something good. I got that ring, dog. It's something
so this
good.
is what he said.
What is it?
He said, I believe it's important for the woman to determine that because I don't want to. I'll have sex whenever, pretty much. You ain't say I have sex whenever, but you just like when a woman is ready.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I
know how to.
Men, you better be honest.
Because I'm a gentleman.
But see,
I'm a gentleman.
So I asked that. Another question you can ask is, what is your style of communication?
Yeah, this is good because I've been with some women that like to communicate through text messages. Some people like to have face-to-face conversations. Some people like to address serious topics over the phone. I mean, it just kind of depends.
So I'm talking more so a little bit of my therapist
Yeah.
had, but then no one's gonna answer how I think,
No,
which is like
your answer is
passive
that's too
aggressive,
deep.
aggressive.
No, that's too deep.
I know most people are not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But based on like how do you communicate when you're upset?
That's too deep, baby. That's too
But
deep.
I do. I asked you
No.
when was the last time you got mad?
No,
That's another question.
Yeah, that is another
That's
question.
another question. When was the last time that you got angry, upset, or hurt, and what did you do, and how did you handle it? I sure did ask that.
No,
ask that.
That's a great question, but the communication.
I asked, how do you communicate? What was the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your style of communication? Some people like I talk about everything. Some people might say I talk. I don't know what people be saying.
Yeah, that is a great question, but that is kind of deep though. So
if you a deep person, you gonna ask it.
We gonna put a asterisk on that one.
Who? Okay, listen. Another one is, what is this? Oh, how do you show love?
Yes. Now this will tie into our love language conversation, which we'll do another one on that. But that is a good one. Okay, let's do 3 more, and then let's wrap it up.
Okay, what's your relationship with your family?
Woo!
And or you can just preface it and say, tell me about your family. So sometimes if you say like, how are you raised? People gonna always say, you know, my mom taught me to respect, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I was raised with my grandmother.
Raising the child,
that kind of stuff. No, tell me about your family. Yeah. And then when they say, oh, it was just me and my mom, or just me and my grandmother, or whatever, then you get curious about this upbringing.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with your mom? What's your relationship like with your dad?
Correct.
Get real deep with that, because obviously the way a son connects with his mother could be one thing. The way a daughter connects with her father could be one thing. So you got to really ask those questions. That's a really good question.
Yes. And for people that have had sexual trauma, of course, you don't want to say on the first day, you know, I've had sexual trauma.
As your answer.
Unless you're ready for that. But I would say that that should be an ongoing conversation about family. Your family dynamics. So that should be an ongoing conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Because I'm sure there's layers to every family. Every family got drama. So.
How did your last relationship end?
Yeah.
That's another question.
That's another question.
How did your last relationship end?
All right, one more.
All right, one more. When is the last time you've cried?
Good question.
Because for him, it probably would have been like when his sister died.
No way.
I'm just saying that's an example.
Yeah, that's
an example.
When did Kobe die? Oh, that was after we were together.
No, I told you Kobe died.
No, I said that was after we were together.
Oh yeah.
She loved taking credit, y'all. I told you.
All right, y'all. So those were just a few of the questions that we asked. That we are encouraging you to ask on your first date. And or first conversation over the phone, because some of these I asked him before we got to the date, that night that we met. So
listen, be aggressive. Be aggressive with these questions.
Ain't nothing to hide from.
Listen, let me tell you guys something, ladies. When a man wants you, we on the hunt. When a man wants you, we gonna do whatever it takes to get what we want. When I was with Ebony, when I was dating her, I wanted that booty so bad. I was gonna do I didn't care. So if she came
But you can only fake it for so long.
That's true. When she came with these aggressive questions, I didn't care. I was with the shit.
He was just answering.
I was ready.
Now, mind you, all these questions I would ask me, and they would dismiss themselves.
They would, but I wasn't. I wanted it. I was ready.
All right. Well, this might be like first date questions part 1, because there's so many more.
Yeah, there's so many more.
So many more.
Yeah.
But this is just a little teaser. So we thank y'all and appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure
Yes.
you share,
Yes.
subscribe,
Yes.
tune in,
Yes.
give feedback, give us some questions that maybe you think people should ask on the first date as well.
Yes. Follow us on social media.
On Instagram,
I'm at CMavens.
I am Ebony_Noir.
And we appreciate y'all. Bye.
Bye.